Hello everyone. This is my very first video with my YouTube channel called Sound Mind, and I want to start off with going over my 2025 yearly budget. And what I'm using here is just Google Sheets, and I just created out all these tables, and I did very simple calculations of doing of adding up numbers, making percentages, and just using Google Sheets as my tracking tool for all my budgeting needs. So I've been budgeting for about 4 to 5 years, and it all started off with tracking my expenses. And then from there, I was able to analyze what I was spending and break them up into categories and then finally fit them into my income. So overall, in purple, this is my yearly budget. To the right, I have my monthly, just an overall monthly budget. And in the bottom, I created an emergency budget just to see how much do I need to survive in case if I ever lost my job. So I'll start off here in the yearly budget category. The columns Q through R, that's what I'm actually budgeting out my money and just having anticipated expenses. And the column S and 10 or S and T, that's actually as I go out throughout the year, this is how I'm tracking how much I'm spending and to see and compare it to my actual budget to see if I'm on track. And if I'm not on track, well, that just means some category here will have to increase or decrease. So starting off in this block right here, I'm going to zoom in a little. I wanted to go over, well, I guess on the second line, this is me balancing the budget where I take my yearly income and subtract it by all of my expenses, which is going to be in the dark purples. So in the first block here, I'm anticipating getting $116,956.84 in income. Now that's just a rough number. I'm anticipating a pay raise come in February, and that's what I'm basing my income off of. So I'm also so in my yearly income, I broke up into two categories. One is my paychecks, which I should get, and then I have my unplanned income right here. And in my unplanned income, I do delivery services like Uber and DoorDash, and Shipped. I forgot to mention Shipped. Also, my tax returns, I should get that back sometime in the March time frame. And any credit card rewards that I get, I have two. Well, I have several credit cards, but two that I use the most is my Visa and Chase cards. And my extra income of bonuses at work. Sometimes I do get bonuses, and I do anticipate getting two this year. And they should be around 5,600. And interest is just any interest I make from my CDs or savings account or checking account, and it's usually very small. I do have an Ally savings account, and that usually that interest rate will change with the market, but currently it's at I think around 4%, and sometimes it does drop as low as 1%, but it does follow whatever the market is, and the interest rate will raise and drop. But that has been like the most consistently had the highest interest rate for me. So usually I keep my temporary savings into that account. So here we have my savings and investments. So every month I do plan on saving $1,000. And, if I have to use the money, I have to use it. But so that should be about $12,000. And for any unplanned savings and investments, so sometimes if I get savings or interest in my savings account and I don't touch that savings account at all, I just leave the interest in there. And this is where it's being accounted for in this line item. Because I am doing a zero-based budgeting, I do have to count for every single penny that comes in and just make sure it's accounted for somewhere in this budget. So for my money goals, um, oh, and for I put my money goals for in the extra unplanned savings and investments. That's because in the long run it will help me, and so that's why I just put it here for now. I didn't really want to make an extra category for it. So here is my extra mortgage payment if I make um, any investments to my Roth IRA. I put catch up here is because I skipped 1 year of Roth IRA payments. So you know how at the beginning of the year, let's say in 2024, you were allowed to contribute to 2023's Roth IRA. So that's what I've been doing every single year is that I've been contributing to last year's amount. And um, what I was hoping to do is catch up where I can finally, in the beginning of the year, just pay for my current Roth IRA year because with all the compound interest and how that works, it's better to put all your money in the beginning of the year so that the rest of the year you can start accruing interest. Um, but that's just a money goal that I have right now. And so if I decide to buy any crypto or any stocks, bonds, I'll annotate that here. And my permanent savings, I don't know why I put Oh, I put December there because at the end of the year, if I have any leftover money, because this is a zero-based budget, I'm going to put my money into a permanent savings account. So I do have two types of savings account. One is permanent and one is temporary. And the temporary one is just to accumulate any extra income that I didn't use for the month. I put it into my temporary savings and I separate that from my permanent because there are some months where I'll spend more and some months where I spend less. And with that, um, on the months that I spend more, sometimes my monthly income won't be able to cover all of that. So what I do is the other months that I spend less, those will cover the heavier, more high expense months for that year. So at the end of the year, if there's anything left over, I'll put it into my permanent savings. And for me, I do need to keep track of where I'm pulling my money from because it's very easy if you put all your money in one place or if you put in one place but you don't have any Excel trackers to track how that money's divvied up, it's very easy to use up all of your savings. And you keep thinking that, hey, maybe you had savings for your house or your insurance or some other stuff, but then you end up using it for another category, then you'll end up with nothing. So depositing into my permanent savings, that's money where I know like there's no dependency on my yearly expenses on my permanent savings, but my permanent savings is to be used in cases of emergency where my yearly income cannot cover whatever expense. So for my money exchange, this is just to account for um, just money that wasn't accounted for like in my yearly income. So if I was to have cash as a gift, I would deposit it in here. And if I was to withdraw cash, because I do like to carry a small amount of cash with me wherever I go in my wallet. So every once in a while, I do withdraw cash, but I don't have a set expense for that. And um, so I just made a line item here. There are times where I do withdraw cash for a very specific event, and I will count that in the expense category below. But sometimes if I'm just carrying cash for the sake of carrying cash, I put a line item here. But I'm going to make sure I don't double count my cash withdrawals and making sure that it's either accounted for here or down below in my expenses. And then here I show my permanent savings again, where if I was to withdraw from my permanent savings, and that's outside of the 2025 temporary savings, um, I'll annotate that here, and this is where um, let's say I had a huge purchase I had to make, maybe like a roof repair or an HVAC system repair that my yearly income just couldn't handle, then I will pull from my permanent savings. So for my living cost, I broke it up into known and then irregular spending. So the known spending, these are actually the ones that these are actually necessary. It's not to say that my regular spending is not necessary, but these are pretty reoccurring monthly bills, and they're just essential to my living cost. So I do tithe, but I black that out here. Um, this is actually blank. Um, Even though I blacked it out there, I just blacked it out just as a reminder that um, that this is blank. I do tithe. I just don't believe in sharing that information. Just the fact that we do tithe, and I put a verse here, Matthew 6:3, if you want to look that up. But this doesn't affect our overall income because I already took that money out and took that out of my yearly expenses. So this whole Excel sheet should still zero out um, to zero. So my mortgage every month is $1,200. So in a year, it's 14,400. My groceries I anticipate spending every month is $600. And so in a year, it's 7,200. Gas is $300 a month, so it's 3,600 a year. And then bills is these are like my utility bills and gym fees. That is $800 a month and nine 9,600 a year. Now, there are some months where it will go down, and that's usually in the spring and fall, where um, my gas and electricity, one or the other, will go down because I'm not using my heat or AC as much. And for some reason, my utility bills are actually pretty high when it comes to heating and cooling my home. And I'm not sure why, because I actually live in a very small home. But it's probably because I have an aging HVAC system. So, escrow. I know escrow is used for mortgages where the mortgage company will take your money and save it for the home insurance. Um, but what I like to do is, I know Dave Ramsey talked about sinking funds. I just call this escrow just because it's just easier for me to remember, but it's the same concept as the Dave Ramsey sinking fund. So I took out all my known large expenses for the year, not the small ones, but these are the large ones where um, I've noticed in the past 4 years, 4 or 5 years, when I was tracking my expenses, these expenses that are necessary have always caught me off guard every month, and it kind of just threw my budget for that month completely out, and it was just messing me up a lot. So what I decided to do was I tallied up all my necessary known large expenses that they don't have a yearly or they don't have a monthly payment. It's more like a once or twice a year payment that I have to do, and I divided by 12, and um, and I pay myself every single month that amount. So my total my total escrow for the year is going to be 11,300. In that category, oh sorry, I was just talking about for the next year. Okay, so for my so what I'm doing is in the month of or in the year of 2025, um I'm not going to be I'm going to be saving for the next year's escrow, which is in 2026. So in 2026, I anticipate paying for these five categories, which is my Roth IRA. I anticipate it being 7,500 for the year. My HOA fees, which should be around 1,600 for the year. My car insurance, which is about 1,000 a year, and home insurance is 2,500 a year, and then my gutter cleaning is um, I hope it's not $960, but I just threw it in there. Usually, so far, it's been in the uh, 400 range, sometimes 350 range. But with inflation and maybe if I have to get my gutters replaced or repaired, I just put a little extra in here. So the reason why gutter cleaning is in here is because my HOA every year consistently has always sent me a letter in the summer about how my gutters need to be clean. And if you don't if you don't comply with the HOA rules, they can send you a fee. So I do consider this a necessary expense, but that's because I'm held accountable by my HOA. So, um, oh, but also the reason I put this 2025 escrow in here is because in the year of 2024, all year this year, I have been saving for my 2025 escrow expenses, which follows the same categories of Roth IRA, HOA, car insurance, home insurance, and gutter cleaning. And these are the prices that I anticipate paying for them. 7,000 for, I guess it'll be my 2024 Roth IRA, because this year I paid for 2023 Roth IRA. My HOA should be around 1,500, car insurance about 900, home insurance 1,500, and gutter cleaning around 400. Um, so since I've already saved up, I want to say 945 every single month for these yearly expenses, and I put them into my it's in it's in my temporary savings account in Allied, but I have a bucket called escrow, and in there, um, what I'm gonna do is like in January, I plan on paying for my Roth IRA. I'm gonna count that as an expense, but I'm going to add to my account $7,000. So it all balances out to zero. So if there's any extra money, I think I'm just going to leave it in the escrow and let it just accrue for the next coming year, or I might just take out the money um, and just carry it around as cash. So I don't have to, withdraw cash from this category. Uh, I think Ally I think they recently had a promotion where you can refer a friend, and I'll see if I can put that in my description box on YouTube. But if not, then, well, I really do recommend Ally because I really do enjoy their high interest savings rate, and I also enjoy their buckets. So you can have one account, but have, I think, 10 buckets where you can just split your money into different categories. So when you look at the account, it will just give you the sum total, but having the buckets does help me for instances like me splitting up my escrow payments from the temporary savings. Okay, so that is all for the known savings cost, which I anticipate it being $48,360 in the whole year. So when it comes to irregular spending, I have I broke it up into my personal spending, then my child spending, my maintenance for car and home, my medical expenses, um, my and then here's my fun money, which is all entertainment, and these are just frivolous spending, my restaurant and prepper spending. So here in my personal spending, I broke it up to my school and work because I am I do sometimes study for extra certifications and stuff, but I don't plan on doing any next year at the moment. And for work, sometimes maybe if I had to buy maybe just office decorations, I'll put that here. For personal care, I do pay for a gym membership, or I do pay for a gym membership, but that's actually counted for my bills in here. But in this gym classes, when you want to pay for, or if you want to go to classes at the gym, sometimes you have to pay. So here I'm anticipating going for 30 weeks, one time a week. It'll be like $40 per class. So I'm anticipating for the year it's going to be $1,200. Uh, I go to a dermatologist. This is not necessary, but I like to go for any like prescription on tretinoin and all that stuff. I do anticipate it being $4,500 a year. Facials, I do go pretty often, and I am pretty frivolous with that. So I'm anticipating it being $5,364 a year. Um, I do go to massages sometimes. I haven't gone this year at all. So if I do go, I'm just putting a line item here, but I don't anticipate going next year. So if I wanted to get my eyebrows waxed or anything, I don't go often, so I'm just putting $100 there. If I ever get hair and nails done, I put it low at $200 because I only get my hair cut maybe once or twice a year, and I rarely ever go get my nails done. I think I only went in 2023, but that was for a wedding that I was attending. And for miscellaneous, this is for any hobbies, home decor, um, home items, office supplies, anything um, that just doesn't fall into any other categories below. I just put in miscellaneous. I am trying to limit myself to $200, but that is pretty small. Um, Makeup, I'm limiting myself to $200. Skincare, that one I do go all out, so I'm budgeting for $4,000 a year, and clothes to $200. I don't really buy clothes that often, but if I do end up having to go to an event or something, then I would be spending some money. So my childcare expenses, childcare is um, the summer camps and the after school programs that I put my child in while I'm at work. So I'm anticipating it being $4,320 for the whole year. For lessons, I do put my child in swim and piano, and I put swim for 8 months out of the year and piano for 10 months out of the year. And I'm anticipating that to be 3,940 for the entire year. Lunch, um, I usually pack, so I don't anticipate having to give any lunch money. Um, the school, for any field trips, their school supplies, PTA fundraisers, or their yearbook. And also, I forgot to put in here their her the um, the school pictures, and I put $300 for that. Clothes, I anticipate buying them around spring and fall just to get ready for the summer months and the winter months. And hopefully, I can reuse some of the old clothes, but if not, I am putting 300. That is pretty low because clothes are actually kind of expensive. So I'm just hoping that I can reuse the clothes from this year to next year. And any toys and arts and craft supplies, I'm putting 500 for the entire year. So my maintenance fees, um, well, not maintenance fees, my maintenance, it's kind of hard to anticipate. I try to look back on the previous years to see how much I spent. And with my car maintenance, it usually covers the big things like tire changes or windshield fluid replacement or windshield wiper replacement, and also oil changes too. So I think next year I might have to do a tire change. So I put $2,000 in there. And make this amount probably needs to increase a little, but I'm hoping that my car won't need that much maintenance. For home maintenance, I have done so many home repairs the past couple years. I'm hoping I don't have to do any more major home renovations or repairs, and I'm hoping I only have to spend maybe 500 in any kind of home repairs. Medical, this is for my insurance copays for my doctor visits and prescriptions. Um, so I'm anticipating about 2,650 for the entire year. For my fun money, this has been like really fun to categorize, but it's also been someplace that I overspend a lot. So I plan on going on taking 3 vacations next year, and so I'm trying to budget it out to $20,000, $20,264. So if I ever go places that has tolls, and sometimes, if I get a traffic ticket or something, I hope I don't have to take any toll roads or anything, or I don't get any tickets. But I'm just putting $30 there. Uh, I do play World of Warcraft, but not as much. But I sometimes buy the yearly subscription, so that at least this year it was $155.88. I don't know what it's going to be next year. For Amazon, I do have that yearly subscription of $139. For any streaming subscriptions, I have zero for that. I don't pay for any subscription streaming services. But if I do decide, I just put a line item there just in case. For movies and any events like festivals or shows that I want to go to. I put $940 because this also includes if I stop by an amusement park or something. So I'm anticipating for the entire year it's going to be $940. So I do plan on taking a spring vacation, a summer, and a winter vacation. And so for these, I hope I can keep it under 6,000. But I'm not 100% sure because I'm actually going to be flying out. So I really don't know if I'm going to keep under this. So I might actually need extra money. I need to pull from savings or something. So for gift giving, this includes when my child has to give gifts for Valentine's Day, Teacher Appreciation Week, and Christmas. I do give small gifts for the teachers and my family. And when it comes to kids' birthday parties that we get invited to, so this gift category, I'm anticipating $1,000. So restaurant spending, that's for any like fast food or even sit down restaurants that I go to. I usually spend about I think this year has been over $3,000, but I am trying to cut back on restaurant spending and keep it at $1,000. And prepper, and that's just for me to stockpile anything like toilet paper. I don't stockpile like years and years worth of stuff, but it's more um, like toilet paper. I don't like going out and buying it every single week or every single month. So sometimes I'll stockpile enough where it covers 6 months supply of toilet paper, or maybe for toothpaste I'll buy enough for actually the whole year just because they're small and it's easy to store. So that I could put that in my grocery budget, but just because this is like an inconsistent spending habit, I put that down here by itself, and I'm hoping to spend just $350 for the year. So if you're wondering why I highlighted these in yellow and some in green, is because the yellows, everything else are set expenses that I most likely wouldn't overspend in those categories. So everything in white, I already meticulously calculated how much it would cost for that for the next year, and I don't anticipating that number changing very much. But the yellow is in categories I can easily overspend. So if I ever am spending money for the month, I'll look at the category of that spending and then refer back to this yearly budget to see if it falls in line with any of the yellow line expenses. And then from there, what I'll do is I'll be like, oh, okay, toys, $500 a year. Well, that comes out to be $41 a month. Or I know some months I won't be buying toys, but I'll probably calculate for that month. Am I overspending am I going over the $41 mark? Or if let's say it's in the month of March, I'll look back in January, February, March, do 41 times 3 and just see, hey, have I overspent that number? And so everything in green, these are actually again, these are categories I can overspend in, but these are categories that I also I planned out my purchases by the months and by the activities, and I need to make sure I stay within budget. So if I want to do any planned activities outside of what I planned, then I need to like relook at my whole budget again. So here I am. So all these green ones, I created these tables here to go over what are my actual planned expenses, so I don't go over budget. Or if I do go over budget, I just make sure that I have to readjust this whole yearly income and make sure that I have enough money for the year. So here we have school, experience, and gifts. So those three categories are here. So my child's school expenses, usually there's a field trip in the spring and in the fall. So um, and they're very cheap. So they're about like $10. And then the school parties, there's like I don't know why I put that. It's a Valentine's Day party. Usually I will contribute about $30 to buying any of the snacks or whatever it is that they wanted to purchase for the kids. So I'll contribute like a snack item. And in March, there's spring school photos for about, it usually comes around to $26. I just buy the digital copy of like one or two. Um, and in June, when school ends, I usually go, they give us a school supply shopping list for the next year or for the fall. And I go ahead and just buy it in June just so I don't forget because I can become very forgetful. So I usually have to do I have to like do all these chores or errands right away. So in the fall time, there's school photos again. I'm anticipating spending $26. There's always a fundraiser, so I plan on only contributing $60. And they only do one fundraiser a year. It's always in the fall. For yearbook, it comes out to be about $50. Sometimes there's a Halloween party. So the Halloween party is a little simpler. You just buy candy for them. Um, there's a field trip in the fall, and I don't know exactly when it's going to be. I just threw November in there, so that's about $10. And then there's a Christmas parties for $30. So for all in all, school, it should come out to be $300. Um, so experiences, how I got $940 is amusement parks. I just threw $440 there, in case I want to buy souvenirs or the tickets and anything else that comes with amusement parks. And I do go several times a year if I can make it. So for movies, I usually spend about $40 at the movie theater, and I do like to go to movies. I enjoy watching movies at home and at the theater. So I just put some months out there like January, March, May, and October just for maybe going to the movies 4 times this next year, or actually 5 times. I put one in November as well. So in October, usually in the fall time frames, I do go to plays. Sometimes they're ballet plays. Sometimes they're like a show, like it's like a Broadway style show. So those are kind of expensive. So I put that at $200. And miscellaneous, like for anything else, I'm not really sure of. Maybe if I buy popcorn or whatever, I put that $100. So for gifts, Valentine's Day, this is for the class. Um, this is for my child giving Valentine's baggies to the class. I already have a lot of the items. We're not allowed to give food at school for Valentine's Day, so it has to be small toys. So I already have a lot of things like slap bracelets, stickers, and just a lot of knickknack toys that I already have. So I anticipate just buying the bags for 2025. Um, so sometimes there's friends, and that's about $400. Oh wait, no, this is my friend's birthday party. Um, my friend's birthday party, her birthday's in March, so I plan on you know, taking her out to lunch and buying a gift. Um, and then there's Teacher Appreciation Week, which sometimes, depending on who the class mom is, sometimes we we will sometimes for the class mom she'll say like, oh, let's go decorate the door or something, so I'll buy like just decoration items and help out in this week. So for Christmas, if I have any friends that I want to give gifts to, I just put out $100. For teacher, I usually give just like a $25 gift card and some chocolates. um, my child's piano teacher is $25, and then um, my child, I wanted to give my child some Christmas presents. I'm trying to limit myself to $130. And for miscellaneous birthday presents throughout the year that I haven't accounted for, I just put another 100. So that's where I'm coming up with $1,000 for gifts. So if we scroll up here, this is my um, monthly budget. And here you'll see my income. It's about $8,681.19 for the month. And this is with my planned raise that I should be getting in February, because I already talked to my boss about that. So um, I should be getting that. If not, then that number will go down and I'll do an updated video. For expenses, I put my all my known expenses that I showed here, my living cost, where I had savings, my escrow, my tithe, my mortgage, my groceries, gas, and bills. And so what I did was whatever's left over, that should be covering my irregular expenses down here because these are not consistent every single month. So if you see here, every month I should have a leftover of $3,651 if I don't spend anything extra on my irregular expenses. But how I balance that out, I times that by 12 and I come out with $43,814.28. That number has to be um, it has to be over this number, which is the 52,088. So already you can see that I am over budget by, let's see if it's 43 and 52, about $9,000. But in here, sorry, I had a pause because I was wondering why the money wasn't adding up. So I made a mistake on the paycheck part. So the 8,000 number is my current income. I forgot to mention my anticipated raise should take me up to about $9,334.15. So and since that should be starting in February, I'm trying to do 11 months plus the old income of $8,681, and then I divide that all by 12. So the average should be about $9,279.74. And when you subtract all my known expenses, um, the leftover money should be $4,249.74. And when you multiply that number by 50, that number should cover my irregular expenses because this was not accounted for in my monthly expenses. As you can see, 50,000 and 52,000, they're not the same. So I'm over budget by 2,000. But what I did not take into account into my paycheck is my bonus money, which is about 5,600 for the entire year. So with that bonus money, because I already calculated that into this yearly budget, that's why when I balance the budget overall, where this line item is taking my yearly income, subtracting my savings, subtracting the living costs, subtracting the irregular spending, um, I come out to be having about $4,500 extra in the whole year. Here, I did not add the my bonus money into this, but maybe I should. Here, I'll just put the bonus money in here because we get bonuses about twice a year, and those are really consistent. So, so this isn't my true monthly paycheck. I just took my yearly paycheck and then just divided by 12 essentially. So here I'm working with this number. So as you can see here, it's 56,000 minus the 52,000. So I should have extra money at the end of the year by about 4,500. So I want to explain this again. The darker purples will add up the light purple numbers, and any whites underneath the light purples are being summed up by this light purple. Um, so that's why here all I had to do was take my yearly income subtracted by the dark purples here. So I don't have to like go through each line and try to um, total out that way, because I could have just taken out all these I guess purple lines and stuff, but I did want to see how much I wanted to aggregate the cost of each large category and just see how much I'm spending in a year. So anyway, I anticipate having about $4,500 extra in the year. And let's say I actually do have that by December. What I will do is I'll take that money, it will be taken out of my temporary savings and into my permanent savings. And all of this is happening in Ally. So I'm usually just moving it from one bucket to another. So, and then, but I did mention that if I ever go over budget on any of these categories, well, what I would like to do is start cutting numbers um, around here. Um, and try to, like, if I was to overspend on my vacation, I would probably try to cut spending on my movie experiences, or even this World of Warcraft experience, or entertainment, or digital entertainment. And but if not, I still have a buffer about $4,500. And if I have an even larger expense that I have to take care of, that's over this 4,500 mark, well, what I could do is tap into my permanent savings. And yeah, so here I just created myself an emergency budget just to see how much it costs to, without changing my living standards in terms of my everyday living standards, like my home, my car, and my groceries. Um, I wanted to see what did I need to survive. Um, but what I did cut out in this emergency budget was any entertainment, like vacations and subscription services, digital entertainment, going out to the movies. Those would all be cut. But what I didn't change was my utility bills, the gas for my car, my groceries. Obviously, if I was in a true emergency, I would actually cut down my grocery bill and just eat whatever bare minimum I could. But since those are my everyday habits, those are actually harder to change. And so I don't anticipate me being able to change within the month. Of course, if I had to, well, I'll be forced to do it. But I just wanted to create my emergency budget, just cutting out my extra expenses of the of the fund money, which is my entertainment money. Obviously, maintenance and medical, those are necessary, so those can't really change. So in here, I still have my escrow because this is not like a fun category. This is something that I have to do. And I guess what I could do is, in emergency, stop contributing to my Roth IRA. So that will give me another $7,000 buffer. But for now, I just kept that in there if I can manage it. So this is, I guess, like a true emergency budget. Maybe I should make like a dire emergency budget later on. But for now, this is what I would like. For the month, I would need about $4,484 a month to survive. And this is me cutting out all savings and fun. So my escrow would still remain the same at $1,130 a month. My mortgage is $1,200, that I can't change. Groceries is $600, gas is $300, bills at $800. Um, Clothes is at, this is for like maybe socks and underwear type of deal, or like a winter jacket. I still kept that clothing budget in. This is mostly like my child's clothing budget. And for maintenance, this is for both home and car. I'm going to try to limit it to 2,500 for the year. And then for medicine, I kept that the same, 2,650 for the year, and it's $220.83 a month. And then I just, in the yearly budget, I just wanted to see how much yearly income I would need, and that's $53,809.96. And then basically, I just multiplied all these categories in the monthly budget by 12, and that's the number I got. And so that's it for my 2025 yearly budget. And I hope I don't overspend, and maybe I'll be able to earn extra money through credit card bonuses or credit card rewards, and maybe delivery services. And hopefully I'll be able to meet my money goals. Thank you for watching.